Good evening and welcome to Banana Republic. You know, the right-wing yaposphere screams that Barack Obama is a socialist because he wants to spend all these billions and billions of dollars on things that we might actually need, like, you know, infrastructure, health care, greening the economy a bit. But all this spending is going to saddle us and our kinder with unimaginable debt, you know, from here to eternity, for generations on end, which of course makes him a godless socialist. You know, Joe Stalin with a sweet jump shot. But they don't mention, or they forget how quickly that the Republican president and George Bush and his Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, just a few months ago in the fall, what they rammed through Congress when the economy kind of fell off the cliff. Paulson went before Congress and said, we need $375 billion, no strings attached, and we need it today, instantly, or economic Armageddon is at hand. And, well, Congress, God bless them, even with their spines of rubber, they told Paulson, well, we'll give you half. We'll give you, $375 billion, tax-free, no strings attached, go save the economy. And they backed the Brinks trucks up to the Treasury, shoveled the money in. No questions asked. Don't ask, don't tell. Go. Here's the money, because God forbid we don't want bankers doing swan dives out of their 75th floor offices and selling apples on the street like it's 1932. So on behalf of the taxpayer, the Republicans under George W. Bush, the alleged conservative, gave away this money, $375 billion. And a few months later, the new administration comes in and they ask the banks, hey, just kind of as a bookkeeping matter, can you tell us what you did with this money, this $375 billion that we just gave you 3-4 months ago? And the answer from the banks was, no, we can't tell you, we won't tell you. Seriously, and dig this, the reason they wouldn't tell us is they don't know. They do not know. And the reason they don't know is when Paulson, in behalf of Bush, in our interest as taxpayers, gave them the $375 billion, they didn't even ask them to take a note, scribble a little something into ledger. Somebody might want to know someday what you're going to do with the $375 billion that we just handed you tax-free. It's like, hey, the banks, and God bless the banks. Hey, their situations. Hey, had you asked? Had we might have known, you might want to check up on this a bit later. We would have taken a note. We kind of understand. It's a nice chunk of change. $375 billion. It's a nice chunk of change. But you said, here it is. Take it. Don't ask. Don't tell. Here's the 375. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go save the economy. You can't do that. And then you can't come back 3-4 months later and ask because we're not going to tell. We get it. What part of don't ask, don't tell, don't you understand? We understand the concept. We ain't going to tell. Even if you ask, we ain't going to tell because we know what don't ask, don't tell means. It means we ain't going to tell. Now, again, had you told us, we might ask, we might have taken a record, but, it's gone. Poof, 375. Hey, we got a lot of expenses, a lot of overhead. We got bonuses to pay, this, that, and the other thing. But what are you going to do? So this $375 billion was shoveled out the door, heretofore unimaginable amount of money given to the moneyed Republicans, to the largest moneyed financial interest on the planet. And it wasn't only the Republicans. Now, let's be serious now. The Dem donkeys were complicit in all this. But they gave them this $375 without so much as an IOU scribbled inside of a matchbook. And the thing, it's amazing not only that this happened because, God forbid, hey, we're new depression unless we do this. We can kind of understand that. But even today, this unbelievable looting of the American Treasury doesn't even register with the public consciousness. It doesn't seem like, it's something that would be hooted down as unbelievable in a Marvel comic, and nobody even seems to care about it. So now the new prez wants to spend a few more billions, that we'll probably need for stuff that they probably need, a little sugar for those on the raw end of the gone bust American dream, and that makes him a godless socialist. But Bush, Paulson, and the Republicans giving away $375 without even asking for them to keep a record, that's wise fiscal management, of course. So, and the amazing thing to me is the greatest bank heist in history, even today in the late spring of 2009, it's still completely invisible because even now, months down the road, us rubes ain't reaching back to check our empty wallets. So I guess all this proves that, yeah, we live in a banana republic in this day and age, because I guess the great American journalist H.L. Mencken was right when he said no one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American public. Certainly not Wall Street, but Mencken was wrong about evolution, the Scopes monkey trial, and all that, because, you know, I think the great apes are one up on Homo stup sapiens, at least as far as this goes, because even Cheetah never would have fallen for this.